We're in Humblewood. Who wants to recap last session for inspiration?
I would do it, but the senility has set in.
Ted, come on! Don't do that.
I don't keep.
It's like, Cody's gonna be dying.
I
And
gotta
then Ted's
tell-
gonna be like, where am I?
I gotta yell I can't emote the Constitution. Don't do this to me. I'm so sorry, Ted.
Come on, Grandpa, put that Barker lounger in the upright position and help us out.
Oh my god. Oh man, I wish I wasn't
Okay.
so unconfident in the fact that I feel like I knew everything that went on, but I also feel like I have a bunch of holes in my memory.
And also your servant body.
Oh
Yeah.
Hey!
Wow. Hey, stabbed to death, baby.
Stabbed to death.
Price of one.
We chased the bandits out of town with a posse at the Birdfolk Council's behest and lost a combatant. We did a bad job. We stormed into a fucking fortress like a bunch of idiots.
It was a camp. Come on, don't be dramatic.
It was little.
Camp. It was tiny.
It was a camp full of fucking bandits.
I don't know.
The most deadly fucking humanoid creatures this side of the Mississippi.
Oh,
and we
they're
decided
not.
we were
You're
gonna
about
go.
to need some more. Don't you worry about that. Don't you worry about that.
I was gonna say this session is the storming of the fortress.
We started
a fight with a bunch of bandits, and then it got progressively worse kind of round after round as more and more people came out of the camp, because of course they did. It was an entire camp of bandits. And we lost a party member, Ripsira, and then we had to deal with the fallout of that emotionally. And
sorry about that one, gang.
Yeah, that's all right. It happens.
Oh man, that was really fun to listen to.
And we did a shopping quest later. We talked to the Bird Council after the raid and discovered that they could not divert resources because they have to deal with the bandit problem. So we decided we were going to go solve the bandit problem with violence. And met a new friend who also wanted to come help us do that thing. So in a few days, 2 days time, we're going to gather up another posse and then go try and fight their main fortress and kill their leader. Which is, I'm sure, going to go just as swimmingly as it went the first time. And we did a little bit of shopping. We talked to Eliza in her shop. I'm not sure we did much else of note in that session. It was a social encounter with the Birdfolk Council, and then a fighting encounter, and then another social encounter with the Birdfolk Council, and then shopping, and then done. I mean, there's also the Sierra fallout in there.
I'm working on a good map.
Yep. Cody had an experience, or Hattie had an experience in combat, I think, that it sounded like it was on the tip of his tongue to jump in on and talk about.
I mean, I don't know.
It.
Hattie's fine. Hattie will continue working on the map until it's time to leave. Hattie probably doesn't officially announce that he's staying with the group. He simply does so. It doesn't say anything about leaving again.
Okay. So have you all have leveled up? I'm assuming you were all fit out for long rest. Is that correct? Okay. Yes. So the day following the meeting of Wisteria and Riffin, you all can prepare to set out with the escort that has been provided to you by the Birdfolk Council. Is there anything you would like to do in Alderheart while you are still here?
Humblewood has a mail system, right? like letters and
Yeah.
postage. At some point, Roderick will just write a letter home.
Okay.
Hey, thing happened. On our way to somewhere else. If I don't make it back, blah blah blah. That's pretty.
Oh,
I'll write it
terrible.
later. I'll write it later.
Oh,
It
okay.
just occurred to me now.
All right. At the distance to Salter's Port, I'm gonna say it's we're gonna say it's 2 copper to send a letter. Then if you're all
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
Same. I had copper.
Just gonna
And
go
if
ahead and pass these out.
pass out little handfuls of glow crickets. Wisteria, you're handed a little glowing bug.
Don't eat it now. Or, I mean, you can, but
I mean, I wasn't planning on it. Thanks, I
uh,
guess. Is it
if
like a
you
pet?
go, no, if you go unconscious, then we'll shove a cricket in your mouth, and then you won't be anymore. And then then you eat it, or if you get really hungry and we don't have other food, then you eat it then too.
Oh, you don't have to worry about food. She like pats her backpack and probably flour puffs out of the top.
Uh, I've never tried to cook them before.
Oh, I you don't have to like cook the crickets. I have other food.
Can you cook
Thanks though.
crickets?
I think I heard of that once, right? Birds eat it as a delicacy. She
I
looks to
mean,
Riffin, then
you-
looks to the other birds.
You coat anything in a little bit of flour, toss it in some oil with some spices. You fry anything, you can eat it.
Do you think
What?
it would still glow afterwards, or would it?
There's only one way to find out, Hetty. We will find out this evening.
Hattie just like nods solemnly.
But, Miss Wisteria, what is your specialty, by the way?
I make pastries and pies and stuff. Mostly stuff that you can eat on the road, but I don't know. Always fancied myself a cafe owner one of these days.
I happen to own a little place in Salter's Port. I don't do much of the baking. I leave that to my Serena. But you need a soup or a stew or a roast, I am your man.
Oh, great. Could definitely use some help around the. All right, so when are we heading out?
Riffin, who is putting on his plate mail, says that we can leave at any time if you are all prepared.
Sure. What's the escort like? Is it gonna be like mercenaries or is it perch guard?
He gives you a bit of a stern look and he says, "Perch guard, I'd assume."
All right. Give me a good one on the shoulder if I start saying anything dumb, okay?
Will do. And if there is nothing else, you all can head up to the upper branches of the city, where you can be met with with 4 sturdy individuals, a couple of Gallus and a couple Strigg, all outfitted with heavy armor and shields with open wings crested into their surface. And you can begin your travel. Let's go to a big map. The way that you are going to be taking is not by the main road, and it is going to pass through some smaller communities as well. The traveling through the forest, there is the decided, the very obvious change in the tree line as you go from naturally the great tree itself, the biggest, arbor in the forest, and descending then from great trees that hold still quite the immense perches within their boughs, dragging out into what are ordinary tree heights eventually. The first couple days of your journey are, while not terribly eventful or notably so, uh, they are not without trouble. However, at every encounter, at every crossing that there might be an occurrence of threat, the escort of the perch guard dissuades any shady figures from approaching you. Is there anything that sorry. Is there anything that any of you are doing as you are traveling?
Should I assume I've given a copy of the map to whoever is in charge of the perch guard on this particular rendezvous?
You could. Do you think that is that the choice you would like to make, or would you like to be the guide yourself?
Uh, they're primarily bird folk, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll be the guide myself.
Okay. I'm so sorry, Miles is getting into something again.
I'll talk shit on Miles.
I'm not going to do that.
He can
He'll
hear
know.
you.
He'll know.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, he'll know.
I know.
Hear you. Like, if you've thought it, he knows already.
Yeah,
It's
real
he'll
Rocco's
he'll know that
basilisk scenario.
he'll know that I was being disingenuous. I swear my undying loyalty unto the God Gang.
There we go.
Okay, sorry.
Deus fault.
All right. Okay. Yes. There are in a dissimilar fashion to your approach to Alderheart, there are people who are traveling on this road that are in more direct uh either passing you by or walking in the opposite direction. There seems to be more of a clear indication of trade route this way, though again, this is not a main road. Um, and the crest mountains, as inhabited as they are not are predominantly humble folk, and you can see that kind of reflected the in the travelers on this route. On the second day or evening, second evening of your travels, you are approaching a small city that is called uh, Branchbourne, which is a known home to one of the predominant clutches of Corvum within Humblewood. It sits upon this very this old port that reaches to the ocean um, on a river that is called Gesme's Branch, and this is where uh, the escort encourages you all to rest for the night, as sleeping in towns is certainly going to be safer than than on the road. Do you have any qualms with that?
Uh,
I
no.
certainly do not.
Sounds like a wise idea to me.
Yep.
Oh, actually, I guess as we're getting ready, I will put a hand on, yeah, Gladys's shoulder, and you hear Hattie mumble something in Mapak. And essentially, you'll have advantage on your next initiative check,
Oh, fantastic.
if that should happen theoretically today. Which, like, we always get attacked at night, so I'm fully assuming me and Hattie are both assuming we're about to get ambushed the second we set up camp.
Just because we're in the town of Corvum, huh? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the birds that are racist, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I was kind of assuming we were going to get ambushed by bandits, to be honest. They have to know we're coming at this point.
Why would they know we're coming? The only people that theoretically should know we are coming are the bird council. There was nobody left at the. Well, I suppose maybe that Gallus made it away, but that doesn't mean we're heading to the crest. This is.
Perhaps they do not know we are on the way to their location, but they know a contingent has left Alderheart. And we did just visit extreme violence on them.
Yes, and they just conducted a raid on Alderheart. They've got to assume that tensions between the two parties are rising.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly, but it's also possible the retrieval of the goods that they had taken was enough of a retaliation of what happened in Alderheart. I don't know. We'll see.
That would be nice.
Well, I do believe we have a glow cricket experiment to conduct.
That we do.
Oh, right. That reminds me. I can cook for you guys. Cool. I think since everyone is being so I guess defensive, I'm gonna sit down and start cooking like little pot pies and stuff, and maybe try and fry a cricket with the extra ingredients. See how if it glows or does not glow after
it has been fried.
I'm betting on it still glows because it's magic, but she doesn't know that yet.
I don't like this. Because there's implications either way.
What
Real Kobayashi Maru.
There doesn't have to be.
Oh, I
It
think
still
I
glows,
don't
right?
think.
I mean, they're not real crickets to begin with because
Exactly.
you
Yeah,
magically
they're
create the
berries.
crickets. No, I just
Yeah,
mean you
they're-
magically create them, whether it's berry or cricket. Like,
Yeah.
they just appear in your hand. They are magical by nature.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
I think until
hot oil
ingested,
is
they
not
glow.
dispel magic, right?
Yeah.
Right. I think they glow until you eat them.
The glow just expands to the frying on the outside.
No, it looks like it's
No, it
coming
just stays
through the
in.
fry,
Yeah.
like in the thinner
Yeah.
parts of the crust.
Glowing in there.
Like you fried a small light bulb.
Yeah. Yeah, appetizing.
Yeah.
As I am handing out the little pot pies to everyone, I will show Hattie and Roderick. I guess it still glows.
Yeah.
These aren't really real crickets, right? She looks at Hattie.
Well, they do not move.
Yeah, I
Is that-
kind of got that.
Your definition of real.
Where did you get them?
Oh, I made them.
Right.
Well, it's more like I asked for them. And then the rhythm makes them. I see this did not clarify.
No, I think it does, right?
Mhm.
Does it, Arcana?
Yeah.
Oh, God, that's bad. That's really bad for having proficiency in it.
I mean,
Being
because you are
trained.
proficient in it, even with a 12, you have an understanding that these are just magically
Construct.
manifested in some way. Considering you've never
Wait.
seen this before, that has to be it. If you don't know what it is, it's magic. That's how this world
Right,
works.
right. Cool. And so everyone has its bonus action to eat. You guys have a treat that lasts 8 hours, and it gives
You can only make 2.
No?
You can only make 2. Up to your proficiency bonus.
4 plus your
4
proficiency
plus.
bonus.
You can
4
prepare
plus.
So
enough
that's
of this
6.
food.
Nice.
Yep, 4 plus
It's
proficiency.
it's 2 different things.
Yes.
Two
I
different
think is
things.
the confusion.
Yeah.
It's
There's food for it, and
Regaining
then there's
One
special treats.
hour with 1 hour of work when you finish a long rest, you can cook a
equal
number
to
of
your
treats equal to
proficiency.
proficiency
Okay.
bonus.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, it is 2 things.
Okay. It
So
is
you
2
can,
things, right?
yeah,
right,
the
right.
one can give you regen on hit points, and the
Mhm.
other gives temp.
Right. I suppose I will give some to I'll give some to Vendi, and I'll also give some to Roderick, I guess.
Sick. I'll eat that in the
yeah.
morning the next day, I guess.
Yeah. Or if we get
Bushwhacked.
bushwhacked.
Yeah, if we get bushwhacked, just shove that in your face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just a quick
exactly.
nom.
Wow. Okay. All right. Okay. So you are approaching the city of Branchburn, which I said was mastered by the clutches, but I misspoke. Is the term that is used as the rookeries. These households of Corvum, which this city is known to be home to many, a good 4 or 5 major clans live in this city. And it has a bit of a muggy reputation, as well as an appearance. The surface of the Gesme branch, the river itself, every once in a while spontaneously bursts into flames, which is seen as, for most of the residents here, as a um, prophetic and divine occurrence, although it does happen surprisingly frequently, and as such creates a bit of an oily smoke that kind of hangs like fog almost constantly near the ground and sticks to the buildings, leaving them all ashen and dark, which suits most of the residents just fine. Most of the people here um, are fisher folk and tradesmen, merchants that work on the river. There is here a temple to Gesme that is called the Great Hearth, which is ordinarily fueled by the curious flames of this of the river. Um, as you approach, or as you come into the town, there is a very old Corvum who seems very distraught, very worn. His feathers are falling from his arms as he is shuffling along the road. He sees you all and he coughs, hacking and spitting into his fist as he comes closer to all of you, and he starts praising the arrival of Perchguard finally, and he says, and he begins asking for help, kind of grasping out at you and reaching out to all of you in his sickly manner.
Oh, what seems to be the problem?
Oh, this whole city is ill, ill. Everyone here feels so. And he keeps coughing obstructively. It is very difficult for him to speak.
Well, how long has this been going on?
Oh, better part of a week, perhaps.
What? Any idea what brought the sickness on?
Oh, no, none. No, none. Not myself.
Weird question. If like I sniff the air, does the air smell different or wrong?
Sorry. Logan just came home. Oh, so sorry. Wrong. How are you asking?
Just relative to normal. Like we were not in the town, so it smells a certain way. Does in entering the town there like a noticeable odor or anything
Why
which
don't you
could
make
be causing this?
Why don't you make me a perception check?
Hmm.
Okay. It does smell different, but that is immediately attributed to the oily scent of the smoke, which doesn't
Mm-hmm.
smell like ordinary smoke as you know it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but
It's-
other than that, no.
Are there any other people like on the street? Because I feel like in your description you said that like this people didn't seem bothered by it.
Yes, there are a few other people out and about.
Are any
The
of them coughing obstructively like this one is?
There are a few. This man seems terribly to have gotten the worst of it, though. Perhaps by his
Yeah.
age.
Yay. Okay.
What's been different in the past week?
He doesn't necessarily know. He just knows that he is unwell and he is looking for aid.
Okay, well, here, drink some water. And I can't speak for the rest of my cohorts, but I'll certainly take a look around and see if I can't figure out what's happening. And I'll
The
sort of
smoke
look back to everybody else.
the smoke smells wrong. So we should find the source of it.
Does this at all remind me of like near the Scorched Grove Nash Barrow?
Not at all. Because there it is dry and arid and it burns.
Right.
Here it feels heavy
Right.
and greasy.
I'll ask if any like tenders have made it around this area.
The gentleman can indicate that a few have come through, taking refuge at the temple.
And did they find anything weird, or like were they sent here for a specific reason? Because this seems kind of off.
No, they're coming from Crest, headed west towards the grove.
Huh. All right.
Why don't we get you inside somewhere and is it easier to breathe inside? I might be able to do something for you tomorrow. I don't there's nothing I can do for you now, but
Anything you might provide is helpful.
we can definitely see if we can find something. But tomorrow I can do something more direct and substantial for you, also.
Much appreciated. He can point out to you all an inn called what do we call it? The Silvered Blade. A place you could stay if you needed to spend the night here, which Riffin will confirm that is the intention.
All right, I'm gonna stop by. We'll see if I can get any information from the tenders. Maybe they have some insight.
I will go with you if you don't mind. I'd like to visit the temple while I'm here.
Yeah, sounds good.
Anyone not going with?
Nope, I'll join him.
Nope. I'll join him too.
All right.
I mean, if anyone else has any sort of idea or way to get leads on this, I think that would be helpful. But like, if you don't, this is the only thing I got. I'm grasping at straws, really.
I mean, I think this in the temple.
Fair enough.
Can you give me like 10 minutes?
Sure.
Yeah, I will ritually cast detect magic and try to like look up at the smoke. Or like see if the smoke has any lingering traces of magic in it.
If you look at the river, which is
Mhm.
which is more or less the main road of this city, and everything is built a long ways around it,
Mhm.
you see the small bits of what is very obviously evocation magic, as there are spurting flames that shoot like a roll of a cloud over the surface and then dissipate, and the smoke that remains lingers in that same aura, but there is no necromancy or anything
Mhm.
that would be considered alarming.
Got it. Okay, so that is essentially what I'm seeing there is just the like natural phenomenon that occurs here. This like burbling fiery river. Okay.
Uh,
Yeah, you guys see Hattie's eyes like glowing from within.
Come to think of it, given the energy we've seen reaching from the grove, and I will ask this to the old Corvum that we've been helping. Has the river been flaming more often, or is it about the same as normal?
Hard to say. Maybe, come to think of it, there have been more instances of vessels being burnt on the river, and often we're capable of coating them in wax and other things that prevent such harm. Perhaps it's hotter than it used to be.
Hmm.
The river does not itself appear to be sick, but it is very magical.
Of course it is.
Mhm. But there are no traces of direct magic that would make you sick, other than getting hit by fire.
Well, let's get this gentleman inside, and then we can go speak to the tenders and the temple.
Mhm.
Okay. All right, you guys can head towards the temple, which is a beautiful wooden building that has been painted black with a white door. The interior is warm, and apparently there is an offshoot of the river that cuts through and under the temple, and there is a glass surface that is built over this little bit of the river so that you can watch it from underneath, and it warms the building. It's kind of hot in here, actually.
Cool. Little geothermal HVAC system. Nice.
And there is a priest who is here, who is tending a lit fire in a hearth, uh, who turns at the sound of the door opening and greets you all. Hello, is there something I can help you all with?
Greetings. My name is Roderick. I'm from the flock down in Salter's Port. Yeah, this is, and he will produce his holy symbol. I have come to see the great temple here. We are my friends and I. We are looking into the. We met an older gentleman. Terrible cough. Says things here have been getting worse. People been falling sick. We are trying to see if there's something that maybe we can do about this. Some way we can help.
She bows her head to you and says, It is always good to have another prophet come through. Please, make yourself comfortable. You have access to whatever you might require here. Um, Actually, yes, there have been a number of instances of people falling ill recently, seeking healing and attention. Um, Fortunately, our resources are somewhat limited, but we've been doing what we can for the people. We've had one or two of our own clerics who have fallen ill. It's rather unsightly, causes fur and feathers to fall out, uh, often accompanied. Certainly, the smoke of the city doesn't help. Coughing, anyway. Um, some people even have have even reported curious claims of hunger. Very unusual hunger. Normal, ordinary food doesn't seem to satisfy them, but they remain quite hungry.
For anything in particular?
Hmm. It's been hard to determine. We haven't figured it out yet. They just stay awake for days, just complaining of empty stomachs.
It's very peculiar. Can you can you think of anything out of the ordinary that might have happened or might have preceded this? Anybody coming through? Any strange signs?
Hmm. Well, I worry that the tenders that have come down from the mountains might have brought something with them. It'd be terribly unfortunate, especially as we've been
Wait,
housing them here.
huh? You've been housing them here in the temple? Is there? Could we speak to them maybe?
I suppose. I don't see why not. Just be careful. And
Are any of the tenders themselves sick,
well,
or is it just the core of them here that have been coming down with this malady?
none of the tenders, which is the only reason I would even suspect is simply because it has been only them that has the only travelers that have come through here that could possibly have brought something with them. We see illnesses of this sort sometimes come from the crest anyway, although, again, we are not exactly sure what it is. she can bring you to a room of the temple where there is cots and things made up and very much inhabited by the the by these druid folk, um, who very much have their wares and things set about comfortably and indicate the lifestyle of travelers. Um, Many very curious baubles and wares and clothing that is strewn about, and the individuals here are predominantly humble folk. There's a couple of servants. There's two Vulpin who speak together, and some Gerbeans as well. They startle a little bit at the entrance of anyone coming, but the priest knocks very quietly on the doorframe to alert them to her presence, and then gestures for you all to enter.
Uh, good evening. I'm very sorry to trouble you here. We were hoping we could speak to you. We're trying to look into the malady that seems to have fallen this town recently, and we were told you were the only ones that have come through, and maybe you have seen something that could help us resolve this situation.
One of the servants, with a little bit of a priest brow, seems a little confused and says, "We has there been has something happened? Is everything all right? Has our presence caused any trouble?" And he looks between you and the priest.
I don't know that it's your presence that has caused it. That's we're trying to figure out largely what it is we are dealing with. Have you seen anything odd up in the crest where you are tending?
Well, many of us have traveled there from our homes, and are intending on returning to the Scorched Grove. This is, none of us are ill, are we? And he turns to his companions, and they all shake their heads. It is common for creatures to, because of the altitudes, contract illnesses, but those who have adapted to the climb ordinarily are without trouble.
I guess the locals are just a little on edge because that's why. Like, they think you brought something down with you.
Well, it's not that anybody's been accused of bringing something down so much as you are the only newcomers to the area, other than us. But obviously, folks were sick before we arrived. Um, so if it's not something that was brought with you, then that means that it is something around that was already here, and that's what we are trying to figure out.
Yeah, I thought to seek you guys out just because you might have a better idea of, I guess, sort of the phenomenon that is happening here, and it seems to have something to do with the smoke. I mean, that's my guess at least.
Well, it's not without the realm of possibility that one of us might have brought something into the city, but none of us have any symptoms of anything, as far as I understand.
Are you all traveling with anything other than personal belongings? Have any items you've brought down for trade?
Oh, we did, although we lost it at one of our camps up in the mountains. We were chased from our base by a few bandits who weren't as careful as we should have been.
Well, we are sorry to hear that.
Hmm.
I'm glad you've found refuge here.
What was it you lost? Perhaps. I mean, I don't know if we would that if just in case we happen to chance upon it. I mean, it's unlikely, but in case we do, we could at least keep an eye out.
There was an, a thing we actually meant to bring to the temple here called a a fractal of ember glows on its own. Very curious item. Thought the we thought the clerics of this temple here would appreciate, and a set of divinely blessed and imbued antlers. Divining rod, shaped as, and he gestures up to his antlers.
Very thoughtful gifts. I will hope we can find them for you at some point. We've had some experience dealing with bandits, I'm afraid. I suppose.
You mentioned that some people that you've encountered or traveled with have occasionally gotten sick when they have a difficult time adjusting to the altitude. Have you encountered anyone who's gotten sick with symptoms like a heavy cough, difficulty catching their breath, uh, an insatiable appetite, inability to sleep, anything like that?
Yes, we see that sometimes in bird folk up in the mountains. We call it the carrion fever. It, uh, it mostly causes just exhaustion. It is those who contract it often just find themselves simply, fortunately, and only just craving uncooked meat. It's curious and unusual. It's curable, at least.
And what would the cure for that be?
Well, fortunately, many of us within the circle of the tenders is capable of begging the Aberanthine and the world at large for assistance in burning out illness.
Burning out
I,
illness. What exactly does that mean?
I have a similar knowledge. I'm simply not prepared to
Oh,
utilize that strength today.
I understand. These types of things often escape me. Pardon my ignorance.
Oh no, 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 not at all. I just
No ignorance. It is the way of the world that some things are just made manifest to others. That is no fault of any individual.
And have you any information about what causes this carrion fever?
Um, Unfortunately, no. It, it sometimes just can occur within small colonies, often after exposure to usually bad winters.
Hmm.
what season is it?
Fall.
Huh. Would there be anything that would like heighten the symptoms?
heighten the ordinary symptoms, I don't know. But, unfortunately, the smoke in this area very likely could agitate some of the more mundane symptoms, yes?
But you said this disease is normally caused by the altitude. For someone who's down here near the rivers, that shouldn't be a concern, right? Because there's an older gentleman we met on our way into town who's already having trouble breathing, coughing, lots, trying to catch his breath, and I doubt he's. I mean, I suppose we can check if he's been up into the mountains, but I don't believe. I don't believe he would have any reason to go up there.
Hmm. No, that is strange.
Is the priest down here with us?
She's very close by.
Say, do you have any of the other priests that are suffering from this illness? Are they here now?
Yes, in the privacy of their own quarters.
Any chance you have any raw meat on hand?
That is unusual, but I'm sure we could find someone to retrieve some from the fishery.
Well, might be worth seeing if these ill priests have an appetite for raw meat. It would go a long way to confirming that they're suffering from this same illness.
She nods and goes to fetch an errand boy. And they'll be back in a little while. Anything you'd like to do in the meantime? Any more questions?
Yeah, how come you guys aren't wearing masks? You know, this thing can be transmitted even if you're not symptomatic. Sorry.
I'm gonna ask. So, you guys have heard that about Ashborough?
No. What's come of Ashborough?
Razed to the ground. The grove's expanding.
The servant shakes his head. The work is not fast enough. There might never be enough tenders to ever truly put that fire to rest.
What sort of are there any solutions you guys are working to? Is there anything that I could help with?
To have solutions, we would need to know the cause of the problem. Right now,
Is there any part of the grove where you haven't been able to explore because it's too dangerous? Any stone unturned, so to speak?
the heart of it is where the ground burns feet and beats like a heart. It's too dangerous to even investigate.
So no one's been out to the heart, and
We've had few birdfolk who have been able to glide over. But even then, some still fall from the sky from heat exhaustion and perish.
okay. Is there anything else? Anything like that artifact you said in the crest? The fragment of ember.
Fractal of ember.
Fractal of ember. Yeah. Do you think that has any link to that? I feel like anything that's just unnaturally touched by the fire has some sort of link back, right?
This thing certainly does. It was imbued with power of the scorched grove some time ago. It is at once an ever-burning candle and also very possible an explosive threat. It is by itself an ordinary piece of stone, but it can be damaged, and when it does, it is quite dangerous.
Huh. And did you guys take a look at it? Is it maybe from some sort of creature, some sort of... Do you know how it was formed?
I believe one of the elders of the circle managed to craft it himself in order to prove that this fire is not inherently a force of evil or destruction. It is a source of warmth, as many of the Gizminian priests can attest.
Yeah, the grove is running rampant.
We understand. The soil is hard to reclaim and to cool and to regrow. The people are being displaced.
More than displaced, dying. Anyways, who's this elder and where can I meet him?
He seems very thoughtful, and he goes to one of his bags to rifle through some old journal, and when he does, he he returns to you with a name. Pella Stormbeat is the name of that tender.
It's a good name.
Do you know their whereabouts or where they last were?
The last we spoke was at the Avium some years ago.
That's on the way, right? I turned to Riffin and then turned to Hattie.
Griffin shakes his head.
It's not really, right?
Not the path you are taking.
Yeah, no, we'd have to veer south.
Maybe on the way
some
back.
point. Yeah, Hattie will shake his head, say, we'd have to go, I don't know, like a day south at some point.
Then on the way back.
Yes.
I'm sorry there is not more we can do for you. And
yeah,
our hearts go to Ashborough.
Yeah, thanks. I don't know if you knew someone with the last name Ashburn, but she was a tender that was lost in the fire.
He nods his head solemnly.
All right. Wisteria is going to go somewhere else.
As we all just awkwardly step backwards slowly.
Yeah.
Time to hit the old dusty trail.
Yeah, good luck with all that.
Yeah.
Kind of a strange question for you, and this is predicated on some rather strange circumstances to begin with. I have had occasion recently to be what I believe to be a portent, a vision of the future from the grove of a great beast of fire breaking its way out of the mountains and destroying a community. And unfortunately, I have no way of knowing where it is, and I don't suppose. And Roderick will describe the servant family that was seen in the vision, and any other details about that town that he might remember. Um,
Yeah, Hattie would try to help, at least as far as like chipping in other minor details that he doesn't catch.
like we would have seen the clothes that we were wearing, the
Mhm.
clothes that the people around us were wearing, and things like that. I know that is not a lot to go on, and I genuinely wish that the spirits had seen fit to grace me with a bit more specific knowledge, but this this monster, this thing that we saw, it, I'd like to think that there's still a chance that we can help those people, that those people can be saved. Does any of that sound familiar? Does it sound like something you might have seen before? Not the creature, obviously. Um, or maybe know somebody who might.
He is very thoughtful. Um, as he says, that sounds possibly like we we know where that is.
Possibly like what there was a bit cut out.
Oh yeah, go for it. Or at
Uh,
least near there.
Hattie will pull out like a map. Can you tell us where?
West of the forest, just in the northern reaches of the Scorched Grove, northeast, and he points. We are headed west. Though we are expected elsewhere, we can make for that city.
I know it's not a lot to go on, and I know they have no reason to be willing to pack up and leave, but
We do not take prophetic measures, prophetic vision lightly. And the servant behind him nods.
It was not a pleasant vision.
I cannot imagine.
thank you. That will put my mind greatly at ease for the things that we have coming up still.
At least until we can go there ourselves.
This is helpful. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for all you do to combat that grove and for helping the people there.
We do what we can. There is limited resources that Humblewood, Birdfolk Council are capable of providing. Folks like us that have little left are all that can be depended on sometimes.
I don't know how much this will help you, but you are welcome to it, and I will produce a bag of 50 silver pieces.
He nods and he takes it gratefully.
If anybody asks, you can tell them that is courtesy of oatmeal.
That definitely merits a strange look.
Oh, would gold be helpful?
On occasion, it can offer us supplies and resources, rations, and proper footwear to
Uh,
use while in the grove.
huh. Hattie's like reaching into a pouch. What? He like looks at Roderick. What's a good amount to give?
Whatever you feel comfortable with, Hattie.
Hattie like takes like 5 gold out and like tries to gauge his reaction.
Every druid in this room, their eyes widen.
Okay, Hattie adds 5 more gold. And then just sort of like awkwardly like doesn't have a pouch for it, so it's just kind of holding them all loosely and sort of like holds them out. You do a cupping and then
We can't accept this. This is a massive donation.
oh. Is it?
Uh,
I have lots of it now.
Just the first 5, Hattie.
I don't need very many here. You can pay me back when we meet at Beaufort. We can.
It's like somebody walking up to you. Hey, dude. Here's $1 million. You can pay me back later. The hell I can. What are you talking about?
Hattie will like subtract 2 gold from it and just is that better?
he still has like both a baffled but a very gracious look as he takes this from you.
Hattie just kind of dumps the like loose pile of it in his hands. I'm sorry, I don't have a pouch for it.
That is fine. Thank you. Thank you.
Uh, you're welcome.
An errand boy returns to the temple with a parcel, paper parcel, with fish in it. Provides it to the priest, who offers it to all of you.
I think we would like to see a priest now.
One of the ones that's been sick, I think, is what my friends are trying to get at, to see if they have this carrion fever the tenders were describing.
Were these fish taken from the river?
Naturally, always.
Can I look? Are you giving us these? Are these fish a gift? Or do you want some of the fish?
No, you may have the fish.
I think I only need some of like one of the fish.
Okay.
Yeah, Hattie like takes one of the fish out and like takes a couple steps to the side, and like settles down into like the position as if he's going to start trying to ritually cast detect magic, then pauses and goes, I'll wait and look at the fish. Later.
Okay.
All right.
Or, I mean,
Can-
I can do it now, but I figured
we-
it'd be best to
can-
wait.
Can we see the place now?
Of course. And she takes you to a private chamber, where there is a Gallus who is sick in bed, um, with a couple of candles lit on an altar by their bed, on their bedstand, and you can go and speak to them.
This is y'all's idea, so.
Yeah, Hattie's looking at Vendy.
I'm looking
And
at Gladys, whose
Gladys.
ideas it was.
Well, good evening. I hope we're not interrupting you. We understand you were feeling ill.
Yes, not feeling my usual self, certainly not.
And how exactly are you feeling off, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, my throat's been quite sore. Feel like I've been hacking up a lung and been molting more than I would like. And he looks down at the bed cover, the bed covers that are scattered
Mhm.
with feathers.
And, how's your appetite been?
Oh, just dreadful, truly.
Well, this next request might seem unusual, but it might help us figure out what's wrong with you. We have this fish here, freshly caught. Any appetite for it?
His face turns quite quizzical, and says, "Well, that seems very unusual."
Well, I'm sure that it does, but we have a reason to believe that raw meat might be the only thing that will quench an appetite such as yours, if the illness is what we believe it to be.
Well, if you strangers are willing to be so curiously helpful, I don't see why not. His eyes meet the other priest, who nods. Um,
I will cut a chunk of the fish out and eat it myself, and then cut another chunk of the fish out and offer it.
yeah, they'll pick it up with their talons and swallow it and think for a moment. And that was quite nice. I don't feel ill.
Hmm.
Sweet.
And satisfied your hunger, you'd say, more than anything else since you've come back ill?
Well, I certainly don't feel like throwing it up, so I would say
Hmm.
yes.
Oh, okay. Let's cut the rest of this fish up so that uh, y'all can get fed. The good news is I believe we know the name, or at least a name, of what ails you. It's something apparently called the carry-on fever. Um, Unfortunately, we're not entirely clear as to what causes it. Um, the tenders that you're housing here say they have some ability to cure it, just not now. We will investigate further and see if we can't figure out what the root cause is for this condition. Have y'all been engaged in any activities that you're not usually involved in, or gone to any places that you don't usually go?
That's a an unusual question. Um, I don't No, no, I don't believe I've done anything of the sort.
So just the standard routine that you've been engaged in for most of your existence here. I don't mean to sound accusatory. We're just trying to find out what, if anything, is different, so that we can try and nail down what the cause is here.
um, no, no, certainly no. Just my ordinary duties as a Templar and serviceman to the chapel.
Hmm. Very interesting. Well, I'll look around to the rest of the party. Did anybody else have any questions or any ideas? This is quite the puzzle.
Give me a moment, and then I'll be able to look better.
I can't think of anything myself, no.
Yeah, I'll sit here and finish casting Detect Magic.
Fish looks fine.
Fish looks fine. What about them?
This person looks fine too. No, nothing magical on them.
Got it.
This looks like it's probably just an ordinary disease.
So, what is your name, friend?
Um, Marcus. Fuck, is that the name I used last time?
It's great.
We're sticking with it.
Well, Marcus, my name is Gladys, and I'll. Is there a chair or a stool or something in the room? I'd like to sit down next to him.
Yeah, sure.
Well, Marcus, and I don't mean to sound accusatory here, but well, I'm not sure I believe you when you say that you haven't been doing anything or been to any place unusual. And I feel like I need to reassure you and let you know I'm not here to judge. I just see that you and your friends and other people here in this city have fallen ill. And my only interest is in discovering what might be the cause so that we might be able to get rid of it so that no one else here suffers in the way that you and yours are suffering now. So let me ask you again. Are you, maybe you want to reconsider? Are you sure you haven't been anywhere unusual or done anything unusual recently?
Roll me a persuasion check.
Ooh. That wow.
Okay.
His eyes look over your shoulder at the priest, and you can see that he's a little bit more nervous once again. As he says, "Well, I there was some folks I had some business with this week that may have come down from the mountains, perhaps."
I'll turn to the priest who let us in here and ask, say, would it be possible to get some sort of, I don't know, is there any juice or anything that's available? I think This fish, it seems to be caught in my throat a little bit. Something with some acid in it might help clear that up. Is it orange juice, apple juice, anything like that?
I won't make you roll any check for that. She'll just go and try
Mhm.
to find something accommodating for you.
Great. Marcus, who are these people that you met with?
Uh, well, one of the masters of the rookery was asking me to move some, hold on to some things for him for a period. They recently were retrieved by some Mopics from the mountains.
This wouldn't happen to be a pair of antlers and a glowing stone now, would it be?
No, no such items. Ordinary house, uh, ordinary gear, rope, pickaxes, materials. Nothing out of the ordinary.
And where would these items be?
Well, I had them for a time, but they are gone now. They've been retrieved.
By whom?
As I said, some Mopics from the mountains.
So you took something from them and then they got it back, or you were given something and they took it back?
I was given something. Yes.
What were you given?
Ordinary crates of some supplies. I didn't think much of it.
Any of those supplies left?
No. Although, if you wish to inquire further, as long as I am kept from the conversation, the Fledgewoods are the ones who asked this favor of me. Do you want a cookie? Okay.
Yes, please. Oh, sorry.
Everyone want a fortune cookie?
Yeah.
I'd love one.
Yes.
Here it says,
Back.
love first, then everything will follow. And then Miles is left with her cookie already.
Uh-huh.
So these fortune cookies are from Panda Express.
Yes.
Yeah. Got it. Wow. Fuck, June.
Am I right, Sarah?
I think
No,
you
you're
are.
right. You're right. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why I was like, holy shit. That's a
Fucking impressive.
Yeah, nailed
Yeah.
it on the first try.
wow.
That's not nothing.
June and I share this malice.
It's I'm not sure what it is, but it's something.
It sure is something. No, I feel like it's the not being a fortune at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is the
Yeah.
That's what
like,
really tells
well,
it.
And that is
it's a big tell.
it's
Like,
a useless
especially if
piece
it
of
involves-
advice.
Well, it's not even advice. It's just saying something
Saying some
vaguely
stuff.
that, like, I don't know, some like 40-year-old woman would have in her home that's like solely decorated from Hobby Lobby.
Bless this mess.
Yeah, bless this mess.
Inside
Sorta stuff.
open up a fortune cookie. Bless this mess.
Bless this mess.
Bless this mess type beat.
Bless this mess. It's time for break.
Sweet.
I'm glad we didn't have to advance interrogate this this
A priest.
this priest.
D-
Oh,
I
he's a
mean,
priest what did it bad.
He
That's on
is.
him.
It is on him.
Ain't nobody did that but him.
Yeah. He could have not done it bad, but he did it.
Yeah.
The more you know, you could have not done it bad, but then you did. These are very cute little beetles and carapace friends.
I kind
Mhm.
of want the galaxy crabs.
Yeah,
No.
galaxy crab is pretty strong.
I love stag beetles, but like I'm in Maryland, so like crabs.
Cosmic crab. Cosmic crab.
Cosmic crab is the BEG for Tay2.
Nice.
Cosmic crab. Doesn't seem too far off.
The adorable, colorful isopod is the BBEG.
I love adorable, colorful isopod. That's the one that I
Right.
was making eyes at. And shit's so
Uh,
cute. Oh,
the fact
pastel stag beetle though. Look at the purple one.
the fact that the beetles aren't making me afraid of them is impressive.
I
Oh,
know.
are you afraid of bugs?
I am profoundly afraid of bugs.
Huh.
Well, specifically bugs crawling on me. It is a phobia.
I can get a blue crab.
You can't.
Oh, there it is. I can hear the credit card information being entered right now as we speak.
And that's the ball game, folks.
Everybody gets a crab.
That weirdly reminds me that like I one time bought something for Ted and shipped it to him,
What?
but now my Google wants to just autofill Ted for all of my names for everything. It's like Sarah and then Ted, and I was like, this is weird. This is a weird thing
Cult
that is happening now.
Ted. Cult of Ted.
Cult
That
of
cult.
Okay,
Ted.
okay,
Ted.
y'all. Can we remember that Giark is recording right now, please?
Yeah.
Ted
Oh yeah,
cult.
that's right.
Ted cult.
Profoundly uncomfortable.
Okay, Giark, come in close. I'm gonna tell you a tale about how a young boy was scarred by a bunch of cicadas. So listen up. In in
Oh
in
no!
Springfield, Illinois, sometimes when the big cicada things they happen every however many years. It's coming up. One of them's coming up. That dates this.
We're actually getting one right now. It's
Yeah.
this year for us here. Yeah.
Yeah, fine for me to know that exists out there. It's fine. So in Springfield, Illinois, on this particular day, we were going to the lake because Springfield has a lake. It's very dirty because it's by a power plant, and you can't swim in it anymore. But then you could. So this was quite exciting for
Ugh.
little, probably like 10-year-old Cody. And we got to the lake, and we parked up, I guess, in the like parking lot area, and we had to go downhill probably about 100 feet to get to the boat that my dad's friend had. The only person we knew with a boat, because not many people had boats unless they were rich. So this was going to be a great day. But when we pull up, like I can kind of hear something. It's not a good something I'm hearing. So my dad gets out of the car and I see him swatting and stuff, and that's no good. My mom gets out of the car, gets back in the car, looks at me and says, "Okay, you are gonna have to run down to the boat with your sister." My sister, who's 3 years younger than me at the time, just looks at me blankly, and I'm like, "Okay, what do you mean, like run down?" She's like, "Okay, there's some bugs out, and it'll be fine. You just gotta like run down." So like I like look at Delaney, and she looks at me, um, and we share, I guess, the childlike look of like, okay, these are some complex instructions actually, because we can now see the bugs beating up against the window. So my solution was to take my like kind of like swim shirt thing I had on and just like drape it over her, and then
Aw.
sort of just run down this fucking incline with her inside of my shirt.
Oh
Um,
no.
Yeah,
then
no, this is bad. This is going to be bad, but it's a very sweet thing that you tried to do.
the cicadas were all over me. They tried to get in my mouth. They were trying to get in, like, my ears and in, like, my nose.
Oh,
They
God.
they luckily didn't get much inside of my shirt, but they were, like, all up and down my arms and legs. Some of them were, like, getting into, like, trying to get into my pants. It was bad. It was a bad
Oh,
time for little Cody. And then, like, we got onto the boat, and they were trying to, get them off of us, and it
oh,
turned out the only solution, legitimately, because the little clawed bastards won't let go in some places, is to literally just, like,
oh,
throw us in the water,
uh-huh.
and then, like, the cicada so, like, they threw me in the water, and then the cicadas just disengaged and floated to the surface as I sunk
Oh,
down
Oh,
screaming. Uh,
oh,
so I got back in the boat, and we just had to pretend like that didn't happen,
yeah,
all day. And ever since then, I am deathly afraid of bugs touching me. I cannot
absolutely.
have it.
Hey,
That's
Cody.
that's like the
Uh-huh.
inverse of what people expect, like, a leech like a leech
Mhm.
encounter to be. That's the
Cicadas got
inside
those
out.
little arms. They fucking they grip. They grip. They
Cody,
grip
move to
wherever
Scrucium.
they can.
California. Move to California. We don't have bugs.
Yeah.
We don't have bugs flat out.
Like, if I see a bug from across the room, it's a 50-50 on how big it is and whether I'm wearing shoes and jeans. The more covering I have, the more powerful I am because it means
Yeah,
it's harder for it to get to me.
yes.
We
But
have
if it
bugs in California. They're just all
No, we
in
don't.
mostly in northern California and
I
in
was
the
like
desert.
outdoor. I was like
Desert
outdoors
bugs.
up north for like
Desert
Yeah.
bugs.
days. I haven't gotten bitten. I didn't even see a goddamn bug. It's
You
way
went
too
at a
windy
good
up
time of
there.
It's
year
you're at a
to
yeah.
good time
avoid
of year
bugs.
for
Yeah. Do you
yeah,
remember
yeah.
how,
Yeah, it's
like, not that
cold.
long ago,
That's
I was
fair.
gonna say, we're talking about how cold it surprisingly was?
yeah.
That's
Well, I
why
mean,
you
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
didn't
cold
see
that
bugs.
it's
It's real
cold like
cold
that
up
all
there.
the
Yeah.
time.
We
It
finally got warm enough that we're starting to see bugs, which is just the pits.
Yeah.
But we mostly have grasshoppers, and grasshoppers are funny because my one of my favorite memories of like scout camp I was at all the time in my youth is there's this big stretch of meadow that's probably like a mile long, something like that. Um, and you can just run through that meadow and just run through it, and every like 3 steps you're hit in the face by a
Nope.
grasshopper.
Nope. 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 Nope.
When
In the
Run.
face every time.
when when we were in Kansas, my dad was at staff college or flight school, one or the other. Some military training. You would drive, and the roads were crunchy. Like there were
Oh,
so many
gross.
grasshoppers that it was just crunching all the time.
Like, cicadas are bad. Grasshoppers also bad. For my money, probably the most annoying of the bug when it is the season for them is fucking June bugs. Cause they like just fly at your face. Like
I
that's what they do. That's their whole
Yeah,
life
June
cycle
bugs
is
are.
I
just
hate
fuck and then fly at face and then die.
that's the problem I have with moths is they're gorgeous creatures that have no respect for personal space. A butterfly will flee
Yeah,
at the drop of a hat.
like
A moth yells, "Come at me, bitch."
I think June bugs are just bad at like at, at flying and figuring stuff out. So they do just sort of fly and then just ram into stuff. Like, oh well, that one's dead. Like
I'll be
that one
back.
hit the window. That one's dead. But there, see, Jark. Now you have the recorded story of my of my trauma forming experience with little grippy bugs, those little grippy bastards, and what they did to me. His brother would have heard, but he can't.
I'm at least glad we know which town it was that we saw.
Hello?
Hello.
Okay, cool. Just make sure my sound was working. Very strange to have everyone quiet at the same time.
I'm back.
Howdy.
What is this?
What? What? Lily, what?
It's a more tactical approach.
What anime is that?
Oh my
Meow. That's quality content, baby.
But
What
I'm gonna
is
share
this?
this one from yesterday that really
Oh
got
my
us.
god.
Christ.
Gotta watch it again.
I don't feel good. Yo, also. Holy shit. Oh god.
I sent that video, the Frodo one, to Oliver while we were all still in chat yesterday. And it was just Oliver and Tyler out in this chat, and I just said, "Watch this," with Tyler, and he's like, "Why?" And I was like, "You'll thank me." Apparently they watched it a few times.
All of the related videos to that are fucking gold.
Yeah.
I'm just now down a anime like, especially a bunch of recent anime I've watched. Rabbit hole. Yep, it's that one, Lily.
Yep.
That is one that like just was like, yeah, let's watch it like kind of sarcastically. And we got through like 2 episodes before I was like, I can't interface with this in any way. This is for someone and it's not for me. So I
It
think I'm just gonna check out.
What's it called?
has some
Called
good
Kaito.
moments.
It's they do basically sumo fighting, but with boobs and butts.
Oh, that one.
That
Yeah,
one,
no,
yeah.
I've seen
Yeah.
that one.
It's the
Mhm.
pool
Or, sorry,
sumo.
seen stuff of that one. I
It's
should
pool
say.
it's pool sumo where they swing boobs and butts at each other, and their
It's got
secret
some real-
abilities are like
Yeah,
secret
It's got some.
technique.
It's got some real gifable moments.
It is, yeah. It seems like it was built
extremely
for me.
giftable, but like not anything that I could feasibly enjoy.
I went over to my parents' house yesterday for a moment and came into watching them, like my whole family sitting and watching Attack on Titan.
What
Right?
the fuck? What?
Like season 3, like they'd been at it for a
Whoa.
minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, respect, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
huh?
I really I came in, I was like, oh, what are you watching? And I see that it's paused, and I read the title. Oh,
Mm.
oh, how are you liking it? Oh yeah, we're like 3 seasons in. Oh, fuck.
Wow.
Okay.
Not just something they're
Aurora's
trying
like
out, huh?
14. Is everyone
Yeah.
good? Is she okay?
Yeah. I don't know what the age limit is on Attack on Titan.
I feel like
Pushing it.
14 might be a little young.
I mean, the thing is, if she got through season 1, it's
That is
kind of too late. The damage, the damage,
The damage
is
has
done.
been done for
As
sure.
far as like, brutality, it's kind of done now. Like, did she get them into it? Like, is this just a
I
big
know my
play on?
I know my dad had been watching it by himself, which
Oh,
whatever. But I get like we're all gonna watch it now. I as a family, like on a Sunday afternoon.
That's an interesting choice.
It was weird. It was weird to come in to see, for sure.
I googled
my
it
God.
and got this, and it's quite something.
Oh my god. The body is horrifying.
What is with the foot?
Yeah,
That's a
Yeah.
that's the other girl's hand.
I think it's the other girl's
Oh,
hand.
yeah. You're right.
That's not a rabbit leg we're looking at.
Yeah.
You see, this fighter here, her specialty is not the boobs; it is the butt. Some are better with the boobs, and some are better with the butts.
Oh god.
It's intrinsic to the storyline.
Yeah, I'm actually
is it-
underselling it.
Is it intrinsic to the storyline, or did somebody have a really funny joke that they wrote a whole plot around?
I think
That-
it's that one.
That second thing for sure.
Yeah. Oh wow, they did fucking oh god, they did
What the shit?
fucking Gilgamesh for Fate Zero. That's excellent.
That's right. Yeah,
Okay.
it's a Fate Zero rip.
Well, yeah, the fact that I say Fate Zero and Fate Stay Night is a tell. What is he? Yeah, doesn't he like Treasures
Adam-
of Babylon or something? Budalon.
Adam, you here?
Mm-hmm.
All right, that makes everybody. Great, cool.
Shark's caught in a lot of good shit this time.
That's a way to put it, sure.
Hey, he is the fishing net for all of our sins and crimes.
Mhm.
Okay, where are we? What the hell are we doing? Oh, okay.
Woo!
Gentle interrogation.
I don't need to talk about it. Okay, okay. Yes, you are talking with the Gallus priest. He has told you about one of the rookeries who has asked him to do a favor, which he acquiesced, which possibly led to him catching carrion fever. What would you like to do next?
You don't want to give up nothing, but you're telling me everything.
Lily, I can't look at this.
Then don't.
You're putting it in chat! What the fuck do you mean don't?
Just don't look
Spoiler
at it.
tag it.
Just don't look at it with open eyes.
Oh god. Okay, what are you guys doing?
He gave us the name of the person, the family who asked him to do this, correct?
Yes.
The Fledgewoods.
Fledgwood.
Well, I don't know. I think it's best we go pay a little visit to the Fledgewoods, see if they have any more information for us. Say, Marcus, where can I find these Fledgewoods?
He describes a section of the town that is a little bit to the south, where most of the larger estates of the well-to-do families are, and gives you the address.
Anybody care to join me?
Of course. I think it's worthwhile. We should probably grab Wisteria on the way.
Oh, the fish aren't magical, by the way.
Roderick will go find Wisteria.
What has Wisteria been doing? Has she just been kind of kicking stones?
Yeah, probably just milling around like the front room essentially of the temple, or like the sort of like main place, any place to sit, or just like standing in a door frame or something somewhere.
All right. Nothing specific, or
No.
then you are easily fetched.
We've gotten some information out of one of the priests we're about to follow up on, if you're interested in going with us.
Yeah, sure. What's the information? Or rather, like the nature of it.
One of the priests here had some dealing with some folks up in the mountains, so the priests here are not the only ones who have been in town recently, it would seem. The other group was a little more covert, though, so maybe they know something or have been up into something. Figured we'd go pay them a little visit.
Sure. Are you not worried about, catching it?
No, not really, no.
I mean, I'm not worried. But,
Well, as of tomorrow, there will be a certain blessing that I can bestow, which should counteract the effects of this disease. But, well, should, I suppose, if the spirits are being kind. For now, though, we have come to this place right as this disease seems to be making its way, and we have found this information, so
yeah.
I can't help but feel we are here to do something about it. So there's nothing really to be gained by sitting here.
I was Wisteria, you are new to the group. We have a tendency to solve people's problems because people make bad decisions.
Well, also because there are just a lot of problems in the world in general, Hattie.
True. Most of the ones we solve are because of bad decisions.
Well, now, Hattie, I prefer to think of it that most people are just doing the best they can, and yeah, sometimes their decisions don't work out, but that's when they need a hand. And if we can provide one, then that's what the rhythm calls for.
Maybe. As long as they don't make bad decisions again next time.
Well, fair enough. Let's go see if we can't help these Fledgewoods rectify a bad decision.
Does this sound like bandit dealings to you guys? Because, I mean, you know, up in the mountains where we're going, big bandit
Almost certainly.
fortress. All right.
They are hubs of bad decisions.
Sounds good. Let me know if you need anyone to talk some sense into them.
Oh, I have been meaning to ask, when it is time for us to start killing people, what do you use to kill people?
Fire, lots of it. Oh, and and striking good looks. She gives like a crooked grin and a wink and finger guns.
At the fire, you see Hattie like miss a step. Uh, you can make fire?
Yep, like this. She snaps and there's like a tiny little flame in her hand.
Oh.
Roderick will light a cigar.
Yes, Roderick's been looking for someone like you.
That is a very strange statement, Hattie, but
I have seen you pull out cigars several times and look at me meaningfully. I did not know what to do.
Oh, you mean
oh,
like this? And she like snuffs the cigar and then lights it back
Ah.
up as soon as Roderick is like, "Hey, wait a minute." Like that?
I do have matches, but I figured while the flame was right there, I would avail myself.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I think I can make it a different color. If you... Never mind.
Yeah, anyways, apparently it's not something that I should like flaunt. Especially not where I'm from, but I don't know. Things have been crazy nowadays. Everyone uses magic, right? She sort of nervously looks around.
No.
Not any more than normal, I would think, but it
It
is.
is an uncommon trait.
Yeah, I get that a lot. Usually with a lot more vitriol.
Is there, like,
I thought you were asking.
do you have, like, fire, inside of you? Or does it come from somewhere else?
I guess the simplest way to put it is, yeah, it's from me. I don't get from anywhere else. I don't pull from the rhythm. I don't pull from anywhere but just right in here. She
Does it
sorta
belong?
sure feels like it. Doesn't hurt me though, so I don't know if that's just me being angry when I use it or it actually burning. That's beside the point. I actually don't really know how. I was just kind of born like this.
That is very interesting.
Yeah.
Is it your friend?
My what?
Your friend.
The my blood? Oh, the fire.
The fire.
Friend. I mean, yeah. I think so. Helps me out in tough situations. It's comforting, even though it puts me through hell all the time. Yeah, it's like a friend, I think.
Perhaps it could speak to the wind. He has difficulty maintaining relationships.
Wisteria will look at the others to see, to search for meaning in that.
Yeah, Hattie's completely blank face.
She will look desperately at Roderick for something.
Well, I know many people are concerned about the fire, especially with the scorched grove, but we all do have to remember that it is a gift, and it provides us with warmth in the winter and light in the darkness. So, not to mention your own profession would be very difficult without it. But I think what Venda here is trying to say is that she is asking if the fire is your friend in much the way the wind is her friend, which it seems like would be the case.
Yeah, I think it'd be a little bit more complicated, but yeah, sure. Haven't really thought of it like that.
Yeah. Especially in this place, and he'll gesture around at the temple. Never forget that fire was a gift brought down to all of us, and there is no part of our community that really could exist in the way that we do now without it. So, sure, the Scorched Grove is a reminder of the dangers should it run unchecked, but it is ultimately also the thing that can bind a community.
You know, that's some really nice stuff to hear, considering where I'm from. Back in Ashborough, since we were so close to the Grove, a lot of people didn't really see it that way. At least people that weren't tenders.
Hattie will like walk up to Roderick and pat his shoulder and say, "Yes, Roderick is very good at saying nice things."
Yeah, I kind of picked that up. He's got the like way with words.
He is also very kind.
Yeah.
The pats Roderick on the shoulder again.
I mean, you say shoulder, but
Elbow.
Yeah, I know.
Elbow.
It's essentially like me tugging on, like tugging on your like arm.
thank you, Hattie, for the kind words. But it is simply the easier way. Now, shall we make our way to this Forgewood? What was it, Miss Gladys?
Oh, the Fledgewoods.
Fledgewoods. That's the one. Let's go see a couple almost certainly bandits about how this whole conundrum may have started.
I'll take some of the raw fish with me.
Okay. Yes, you can head southwards towards the section of this perch that is more dependent in the trees. For sure, these states are evidently almost exclusively reserved for bird folk, and means of traveling up for those who cannot otherwise climb seems quite quite difficult for a moment until bridges and ladders can be found. Heard someone sound like someone was going to say something. No? Okay. But you can be taken up to the upper levels of this perch where there are glorious houses that all still kind of, even if they are not touched by the smoke from the river, are almost painted as if they are supposed to appear that they are. And following the address and the directions, you can find a lovely building that is bustling with servants and people gardening in the upper levels of the tree uh, at the Fledgewood Estate. How would you all like to approach?
Unless anybody says anything different, Gladys is just going to walk confidently up to the front door until somebody stops her. And if nobody stops her, she's just going to knock on the door.
Yeah, Wisteria will be right beside her.
I think that's a solid plan.
Very well. Then the door is opened by Mapak's servant, who asks what business you have at the Fledgewoods.
Well, we just came from the temple, and a certain priest named Marcus told us we should stop by and make an introduction.
Why don't you make me a persuasion check? Okay. There seems to be some confusion and some hesitation, but the door is open to you and you are allowed entrance. And shortly upon being brought to a parlor, the servant tells you that they will be back momentarily with one of the masters of the household.
Wonderful.
And returns with a bright-faced, bright-eyed, younger Corvum, in fine, brilliant wear of dark inks, or dark dyes, and bright accents within the fabrics of their clothing. And they say, "Hello, is there something I can help you all with?" And he looks at all of you and says, "Travelers, what brings you to Rashborn? Branchborn."
Oh, well, we were just at the temple, and turns out several of the priests there are sick, including Marcus, and he suggested we come by here, make an introduction. My name's Gladys,
Arthur.
and
And
I'll extend an arm.
yeah,
Pleasure to meet you, Arthur.
he shakes your hand. I'm deeply sorry for for such a circumstance. Is the temple asking for donations?
Oh, no, not that I'm aware of. Although I'm sure that any donations would be appreciated. Uh, First, let me ask: has anybody in this house fallen sick? I understand Marcus had some business with some people here, Arthur, and just want to make sure that this illness is contained.
Oh, don't believe anyone within the household has fallen ill. That is truly unfortunate. Although I don't recall any business with Marcus.
I believe Marcus was simply facilitator of business you had with another individual. Point is, they are concerned that if there is a contagion, that there might have been something, if not a person, then perhaps something in the general supplies that we are to understand were passed along, acquired by if not you, perhaps somebody in your employ.
Well, that is concerning, at least. I don't believe I know at all what it could be that would have allowed allowed such events to fall as they have. Although, as I said, I would be happy to offer donation or other such assistance.
Well, perhaps you weren't the member of the house that had business with either Marcus or with individuals that Marcus had arranged. Perhaps we should check in with everybody, just make sure they're feeling okay, and if any goods passed hands, have our experts here take a look at it and make sure there aren't any contaminants within.
Are you all physicians?
Oh, we have a wide variety of expertise in all sorts of things, the healing arts included.
The disease, the sickness that has befallen some of the folks in town can be rather insidious. While it starts with fairly minor symptoms, it does proceed towards a desire for, well, shall we say, uncooked flesh. Now, this is so far,
Heavens.
yes, it's quite concerning. And well, we are just trying to make sure, one, that if there is an outbreak, that everything is contained, and two, that nobody, that everybody is kept safe from harm. No, well, no bites, you understand.
Certainly. If this is something you are truly concerned about, perhaps I should gather the household and you can investigate. But I assure you, I don't understand exactly what it is that this Marcus might be talking about.
Hmm. We can maybe solve this problem for you, but you're going to have to tell the truth.
I don't know that I know what you mean, sir.
Hmm. I think you are. Hmm. Yes, I think you are lying.
Uh, the
Pardon me?
Mm-hmm.
We are not particularly concerned with whatever the items might be that have been traded between you and the good Marcus. We are simply concerned with this disease that has begun to spread its way through Branchborn, and we fear it might be only a matter of time before it, well, spreads.
I can certainly gather the household if that will help. His gaze is narrowed slightly, and he looks at Hattie several times as he speaks with you, Roderick.
Why don't we why don't we meet with everybody like you said? We'll see if perhaps someone might be able to be of assistance.
Before we gather them, if you were used by someone to spread illness, wouldn't you want to know?
What exactly are you saying?
What do you mean?
Question you have asked is curious and
Mm-hmm.
accusatory. I would
Hmm.
like to know exactly what it is you are trying to say to me within my own household.
At the moment, I don't think you actually wanted people to get sick. Because
Certainly
there's no
not.
reason for that.
Absolutely.
But you might have been used by somebody that did. You might suspect it.
Roll me a persuasion check, Hattie.
Yeah, I am going to. He clutches his little star map and casts guidance on himself. Persuasion, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. Well,
Hmm.
could have been worse. Could have been better.
You did get a 15. I think.
Mm-hmm. I don't appreciate the tone you've taken.
I am sorry.
But if you have means of identifying such illness, then the sooner it is removed from our perch, the better.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps you might be able to help us. I don't know how much you deal with all of your staff on a day-to-day, but several of the symptoms might be instantly recognizable. You will have folks who find themselves completely unable to sleep. They are always hungry, and nothing seems to sate that hunger, no matter how much they eat. There's also far more common symptoms like cough and things like that, but those two are the ones that will perhaps be a little more obvious.
He ponders this and then says, I believe we might have one or two on staff who have indicated some curious symptoms such as that. They've been dismissed to rest, but I could send someone to fetch them or send you to them. Though none of my family has contracted any such illness.
Well, why don't I head up and check on those two while y'all continue this conversation with Arthur and the rest of his family, who I'm sure he'll be fetching shortly.
Why don't you take Vendi with you at least, or someone?
Wonderful. Bendy, would you like to accompany me?
Yes.
All right. He points you in the direction of the servants' quarters, and in the meantime, send someone to collect everyone else who is well.
I'm just
What?
gonna do the same routine I did before. Explain what the situation is, eat a chunk of fish to prove that it's not tainted, and offer the two ill individuals the same to see if I can confirm the condition.
All right. The two Mappak maids actually do indicate very clearly those same symptoms. They are relieved to be eating something that feels like they can stomach it.
And I'll look to Vendy. Well, that seems like about as strong as confirmation as we can get, Vendy.
It would seem that way.
I'll explain the situation to the two ill individuals, and then suggest, Vendy, shall we rejoin the others?
Is there anything we can do to get better?
Well, right now we're working on that. And I promise you, as soon as we know something, we will share it with you. And if we are able to rid you of this condition, we'll do what we can to make sure that happens.
They nod. Once the household has been assembled, which is a small collection of servants, and then this rookery of Corvum, uh, what would you all like to do next? How do you want to undergo this investigation? And is there anything besides just medical examination that you would like to perform?
I think we want to try to convince somebody to, even if we don't really care, like, about it, we probably want to know what it was that they got so that we can try to figure it out. Like, figure out what might be the culprit. I don't know if that was
Yeah, I
something
mean,
that would have come up.
I'll throw this out to the table, I guess. My strategy was simply going to be explain, that we know somebody had some interaction, right, with people from the mountains. Something was exchanged, right? There's ill individuals in the house. Other people who have been involved in this transaction seem to have fallen ill. It seems to be centered around whatever this interaction was. We're interested in finding out what that item is, where it came from, so that we can figure out how to resolve the illness, right? And they can either help us, or we can wash our hands of it and just pass the information along to the perch guard escorts, right, that are in town.
From my read on the situation, they were just exchanging normal goods, and this is just an illness that is native to a higher part of the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
I think they just got it. I don't think it's like magical or evil or whatever.
Oh yeah, I mean, I totally agree, and that's why I think that
Well,
trying to potentially play good cop, bad cop, where we're the good cop saying, look, all we want to do is try and fix this, right? You can help us, but if you're not going to help us, like, we don't have authority to make you, right? But we're also not just going to drop it. So all we can do at that point is hand it off to the perch guard. And, if you think you'll have better luck with them, great.
I feel like there is some banditry going on as well. Granted, I feel like these goods are regular, but like the dealing happened in the Crest Mountains, and that's sort of where our stronghold that we're going to is. So that's where the bandits probably do a lot of business, do a lot of like, passing up goods and trading and whatever. And like this seems like a noble family that's hiring folks to like hold bandit goods because they're in it somehow. Uh,
What my
that's
confusion is what do we do about that?
yeah. I think the only issue is like it's been done. Other than sort of proverbially cutting the head off the snake here and just getting rid of this family in whatever way that means, it's
Which would be a
just like,
massive waste of our time because we're already
yeah,
going on a raid.
right. So like I don't know what the solution is unless there's something in these goods that like actually did what was tainted and did give these people that were a part of the
Yeah,
transaction the illness, and then they spread it down.
that's
Like,
kind of all I was looking to determine. If it's just,
right.
they were trading and just caught it, like, some sort of weird mutant form of altitude sickness, then, there's nothing we can do but try to cure the disease
That's
in the
my
people
read on
who
the
are already sick.
situation. It's not altitude sickness because it is clearly contagious.
Well, yeah, I was using altitude sick, like, this is a
Yeah.
disease from a high elevation, as opposed
Yes,
to...
yeah. I think they might have just caught a disease, y'all. I'm not sure we can do anything about this except stay here and slowly cure them.
Well, I mean, I think that's a possibility, right? But at this point, it's just a possibility. Like for me, the most interesting thing, or the two interesting things, are one, let's see if we can help these people by we've sort of figured out what it is, right? And if we can figure out what's causing it, right, so that we can remove that, then okay, like they've got to chase down the people that have it already and try and heal those people, but that sounds like a problem for the temple. But the
Yeah.
second thing is, if there's an item, right, that is emanating whatever this illness is, right, or these people have illicit goods, even if they're just holding them, even if they don't know they're illicit, like the fact that it came from the mountains, well, that's interesting to me. And I don't know whether they have it or not, right? But I'd certainly like to find out, or at least try to find out.
Sick. Can we do that then? Just as fast as possible. I am very weary of this, and I don't think it's gonna be magical, like a thing we could just solve. I'm pretty sure. Or at least I would like to find out if it is more quickly, because we're sitting in a weird negative space right now, kind of doing nothing.
Sure.
The question I'm trying to determine next is what sort of checks you have to do then. And my assumption would be if you're going to be open about what you understand about what's going on so far, that would be persuasion.
Sure.
Yeah, I would say really kind of sounds like my plan.
I need a proper plan so I can tell you what skill checks to make.
That is basically Roderick's plan, because he kind of doesn't really care what sort of goods are being exchanged between the temple and these folks. He has no reason to believe that it's anything illicit. Other than the weird way that it was being done. But that's still kind of neither here nor there to Roderick. The main concern is just, is this just, a bad case of somebody coming down and spreading a thing, or is there something more to it? And the easiest way to find that out is to just be open.
Okay. Then I would like a persuasion check.
I can assist. If whoever's making it thinks they want me to make it.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Oh, after you.
You know how Ted rolls.
Yeah. No, I
Don't
know how Ted
fine.
rolls.
Don't do this.
No,
Fine. I actually
fine,
now
fine,
have the
fine.
ability. I was at the click.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. You did. I'm just saying, you can have some guidance. Because I have guidance
Okay,
as a thing I can
guidance.
do now.
Cool.
Okay.
Thanks. Okay. Guidance
Might
is
have
what?
to start adding a rule where you can't do guidance and help from the same person.
Well, I was
You
planning
did
to
it.
guidance myself since Mysteria was helping. But
Can't help while
Gotcha.
concentrating.
That's fair.
either way.
D4?
D4. Sorry. I was asking. Oh.
Okay. With that, there's still clearly some obfuscation and some weird communication between the family members, for sure. but it would be pretty clear that whatever exchanges happened already. There is nothing to explore beyond that, like the knowledge that it exists, and it was likely just um uh, a crossing of paths that was the ultimate contamination. The things that you guys are capable of doing would be trying to possibly cure those people with time. That is what you are. That is pretty much what you can offer.
In that case, they should make they. I mean, we don't have the time to stop and cure everyone because spell slots and all that jazz. But like the tenders are in Branchbourne. There's the temple in Branchbourne, so people with symptoms can get treatment. Why is it? That's a lot of lesser restorations.
Okay. So, what would you like to do with the information you have now?
I would like to give it to the government.
I kind of
Yeah,
want to squeeze them to
that's
see
fair.
if they are dealing with the bandits, if they know a better way for us to get up to the crest, like to get to this fortress that we're supposed to be making our way towards.
Yeah, it's worth checking in with them anyway and like letting them know what we're doing.
Yeah.
The the local the local magister?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. If that
I,
is the
I was
case,
I was referring to this family since they seem to be having some sort of dealings with folks up the mountain. Because it sounded like there was a trade going on from top to bottom, right?
that'd be correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
We could ask before we leave.
Yeah.
How would you like to ask?
Now, as much as I don't particularly care about what these goods are and the deals you're making with the folks in town, the source of these objects would be the inhabitants of a place up in the higher parts of the crest, right? Because we have certain obligations with the groups there that if you know a more direct route, something perhaps to shave a little travel time off our endeavors, that would be greatly appreciated on your parts. And while he is saying this, he will just be, the thing where you take like a couple coins and you're just dropping them from hand to hand to make noise. He's doing that.
Roll me a persuasion check with advantage.
2 5s. Fucking crime it.
Take my inspiration. I want this to work.
You really want to throw away your inspiration, though?
Yeah,
22.
there we go.
Yeah, dude. If I die on my own merits, bitch. Ask Tuesday game. I think I give a fuck. I'm a woman on the edge.
There is definitely the expectation that you will actually provide payment, but they offer one of their servants who can escort you from the base of the crest.
I will drop a couple gold pieces into. Well, not drop, but I will surreptitiously slip a couple gold pieces to one of these family members for this information.
Okay.
3 gold, I guess. Well, seems we have ourselves an easier trek up to the crest. When are we interested in making this particular journey?
As soon as possible.
I mean, I know we are tired from the journey here to Branchbourne, but if we're feeling particularly word that is escaping my brain, if we're feeling particularly raring to go, we can go now.
We are resting here
This
today, remember? We are leaving tomorrow morning.
So then tomorrow morning, then we will be back up this way. If your servant here will be ready for us.
Yep.
Cool.
All right. An inn stay. There are only 2 rooms available. But they are modest spaces. 2 silver a night for you guys. Is there
Okay,
anything that
we'll
must be done
stay
this
at
evening?
the temple.
Yes. All right.
I'm going to attend to my duties here if you all will find me in the morning. Actually, I will find you in the morning. I will make sure that things are ready to go.
Y'all ready for a long rest?
Y'all ready for this? Dun, 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 dun.
Okay. All right. Then take a long rest. I need a Constitution saving throw from Gladys, Hattie, and Roderick. Oh, and Vendi.
Constitution saving throw. Nat 1. No, 15.
Gladys, I need a Constitution saving throw from you.
Oh, came back just in time. Awesome.
And Vendi.
Yeah, sorry, my sheet is not cooperating. There it is. 12, baby.
Ooh,
Okay.
looks like Gladys should have saved some of that raw fish.
Where we're going, we won't need any raw fish.
Okay.
Real.
So the next day, you can all gather together again, ready to head off.
Yep. Roderick will be up early making breakfast as per normal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, we lost Coach.
Wisteria as well.
All right. After you have prepared a hearty meal and have packed everything up together, you can continue on the path through the woods towards the mountains with a Vulpin named Triss Bennett as your guard from the Fledgewood estate. Um.
How did Gladys enjoy breakfast?
Not great.
Mm-hmm.
Nor did Hattie or Vendi.
Yeah, Wisteria's gonna have her scarf and keep it over her mouth the entire time, other than when she's eating.
All right. Anything that you would all like to specify or do during travel time for the duration?
At some point in time, I do want to not not like too in depth, but just sort of make small talk with the woman that they sent with us, and
Mhm.
I want to sort of get an idea whether we are being set up in any sort of way.
Why don't you make me an insight check?
Sure. Sweet. Thanks for infecting me though with those rolls, Ted.
At least I didn't get infected with the
This can't be my fault because you rolled above a 10. So
My condition is getting worse, is what I'm saying.
Triss seems like a fairly pleasant individual. She doesn't speak a whole lot, but as such, it is hard to determine what if she is hiding anything.
Wisteria is going to sort of like I guess just sitting by, like taking a little rest from whatever, and just be like, hey, weird question. So I'm gonna just lay it out straight. The people that you work for don't really seem too upstanding. Uh, no offense. Work is work, I get it. But, I just want you to know that we're gonna keep you safe. And I just hope that you won't lead us astray. And she will coyly sort of like take 4 gold pieces and sort of like hold them out to her.
Could you roll me a persuasion check?
Sure I can. Sure fucking can.
She will she'll take she'll take the gold, and just reply that it would not be in her best interest to take you all into harm's way.
That's fair. Well, I guess thanks for the peace of mind. I get kind of anxious traveling with strangers.
She nods.
Cool. That's all.
Okay. You eventually, after about a day of more travel, breach the forest, and there is just a stretch of open valley before the climb of the barren mountain crest. It is unusual for ridges such as this to not have much foliage, especially on this side of the on this side of them. But these are craggy and lifeless stone that reach into the clouds. Triss affirms that the fortress is not so close to the heavens, and sits between in a bit of a fold between two mountains, and she can take you there without trouble. She also assures you that any patrols that would be following or might see you all would be dissuaded from barring your way uh, with her in tow. The perch guard, who you are traveling with, seem rather displeased by this reveal of information. Many of them, however, are at this point dismissed from their duties so that they can accomplish the rest of their assignment. Riffin asks you, Asteria, if you would like for him to stay or if he should return.
Uh, I don't know. If you got business with those guys, then you can go, but better be safe. I would like you to come though. We could use the hands sort of walking into this, you know. She sort of does a head count and inhales sharply through her teeth. But you don't have to. I get it.
He looks at all of you who are rather scantily clad and armored, and volunteers to stay with you all.
Great, cool, awesome. Thank you.
Okay. One minute. What? That's not. Okay. So, as you are all continuing on, for the next. Oh no! Why did that not? Oh no! For the next day of travel, it is suddenly significantly colder as you are getting into autumn. And I don't believe any of you have necessarily. No, never mind.
Sorry, was there space for us to speak at the end of the previous day?
Yeah, kind of. Well, go ahead.
I would love to express that I am feeling ill. That's all.
I'm also sick.
Yeah.
When did this start?
This morning.
Mm-hmm.
Let me
Yeah, I noticed it at breakfast. I know my cooking is not that bad, and you. Gosh, Roderick. We need to trade some recipes. Anyways, I've been sort of. She gestures to her covered face. Took a hint.
Well, half a minute there. I thought you were saying my cooking was made you sick, and I was about to be very offended. Hold on. Let me see if, and I will start with Vendi and see if this can do something.
Lesser
Now, hold on.
restoration?
Yeah.
Yes.
Now hold still here, Vendi. This is kind of new. Spirits will just we'll just let them do their thing. Better?
I assume based on Sarah's previous response, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Thank you.
All right. Hattie, you were feeling sick also?
Yes, but if anybody else is sick, you can get to them first.
I
Well,
don't.
if that seems to be doing the trick, and you've got one more in your medicine bag, I've been a little off my appetite myself.
Yeah, I will burn my only other second level spell slot. And cast Lesser Restoration again.
I know you didn't mean for it to sound like like it was a hassle, but it did seem. Well, I'm using my last second level spell slot, so if anyone dies and needs a second level spell slot, it's your fault.
Maybe you can fix it for me tomorrow.
Of course, Hattie, of course.
Mm-hmm.
No,
It
it was
isn't
more
too
that I
bad.
was. Oh, sorry, go ahead. Go ahead. You were speaking.
It
Go
isn't
ahead.
too bad just yet. But I would prefer not to.
Yeah, it would be too slow to do this for the entire town myself, so I'm hoping that the tenders and the priests at the temple will be able to help.
Mm-hmm.
You all
So
get
yeah.
to rest the next day. Use another spell slot, yeah?
Yep. All right, Hattie. Let's get this started here. And then once Hattie is feeling better, Roger will take a moment. He will take off his hat and set it just on a stump or a rock somewhere, and he will actually light the candle that's on there. And he peers into the candle for a little minute before pinching it out with his fingers and putting his hat back on.
What was that?
It's a little something that I learned from my Serena, but I've never really practiced much. You light the candle and you see there's three parts to the fire. There's the outer orangish part, there's the white middle, and then at the very base where the candle is lit against the wick, the flame burns black there.
Mm-hmm.
And when you are getting ready to start your day, you take all the things that you are worried about, all the things that drag your mind down, and you feed them into that part of the fire. And while you're doing that, if you are very careful, you might just hear a little something, a little whisper from the spirits. And these are the things which guide us in our day to day.
Oh, what did you hear today? Or do you hear everything every day? Sorry, that might have been rude. Maybe you didn't hear something today.
Well, I suppose we will have to find out, won't we, Hattie?
Mm-hmm.
He will put on his hat. Let's see about getting up to this crest, shall we? Or this fortress. Mechanically speaking, if I tell you the story, it burns the ability.
Yeah, I know. I knew that out of character. But I also knew you said like you hear stuff from the flame, and Hattie's like, "Oh, what do you hear?"
Stories, warnings, portents.
The following day is difficult travel as none of you have ever had to climb mountain before. And though it is in the foothills not terribly difficult to do so, it is merely different. And the altitude begins to shift very subtly, and it is drier, it is a little colder, and it is uphill. I would like a perception check from everybody. Oh no, Hattie.
I'm staring at the sky the whole time,
I
night and
vampired
day.
your luck.
Oh, Vindy.
I vampired your luck away.
Okay. Fortunately, there is Triss warns you all of some of the animals that do live out here. Most of them are hunters, and then there's some wild goats and such that can become dangerous on occasion. But most of the time, the wildlife leaves you alone. Until above you, you hear the sounds of stone falling, light little pebbles dropping from higher precipices down near to the road where you are. Each of you look up, and even Hattie, blinking in the sunlight, can see a pair of mountain lions on either side of the canyon you are passing up into. And we are going to roll into initiative.
Oh, that's a cool looking big cat. Look at it.
Dang. It is a cool looking big cat.
That's a metal as fuck mountain lion.
I love that mountain lion.
Gladys, you have
Like
initiative.
orange and
Or
white.
you have advantage. Yep.
Oh my god.
It just lasts until you use it.
Yep.
It's a good
That'll do.
feature.
Waiting on Vendi?
Yeah, my sheet's being a bitch again.
Oh no.
I love how
There we go.
my friend is like the least intimidating strig
Yeah.
ever. Like you
Well, hi
say
there.
you say he's a strig, and I'm picturing like this giant owl creature, and then I see the token,
He's-
and I'm like, oh, it's a
I-
tiny, cute little like one of
He's
those
Fred-
owls. That
I've said that he's shorter, but he is
He is
broad.
short.
Honestly, I love the idea that all of the Strig look like this and just are as they are. These metal as fuck little, like, cute little badasses.
Oh, hold on. Where
They're
can I
all
find
about.
the thing is this is the art for dear little Riffin, and here's the art for Kara, if y'all remember her.
Yeah, there's a bit of a difference, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Just a touch.
This guy's just a good little friend.
Yeah.
I'm just happy to be here.
dang,
Gladys.
that's such cool art though.
Yeah. Gladys is up first.
As I charge this friendel, I will cast Hunter's Mark.
Okay.
And I will chuck a nail.
When in doubt, chuck a nail.
That's right.
16 will hit. Alright.
That is it.
Okay. There's a pierce and blood is drawn, it roars, and then it is Vendi's turn. Well, it doesn't really roar. Mountain lions don't really roar. But it is an unusual cat noise that they
Yeah,
make.
they shriek.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's quite bad. I think it's called trilling. Oh, I crit.
Well,
Nice.
Which one are you
Can-
targeting?
The mountain lion that's closest to. Actually, you know what? This one, top one.
Okay. Roll damage.
Excellent. I'm also going to throw a grasping arrow on there. Additional 6 poison damage as Vendi's arrow strikes a wall of air in midair and fractures and buries itself as splinters into this creature.
Okay.
Alright.
Sorry, I'm just reading the ability.
And that is it.
It's just. Okay. Okay, I follow now. All right.
Mhm. It's like a booming blade, kind of.
Mhm. Do you get an additional 2d6 damage from? Well,
She
hold
rolled.
on.
I think
Oh.
I do.
It's
I might not.
extra 2d6 damage, and then takes 2d6 on each turn. So you need an extra 2d6.
Right, for the crit.
Yes.
Nice.
All right. Is 7, 13, 21. All right. Bloody, but still moving. And bound in a fashion, it would appear, right?
Chock full of splinters. Having a bad time.
Okay. And Riffin is going to move to here. The outermost folks' way be his hope. And then slash out with his sword. Fuck. Okay. Okay, his damage was not as good as his attack rolls. With acuity, but a somewhat disappointing instrument. He cuts deeply into the mountain lion's chest, and then defends himself with his shield. Hattie, it's your turn.
Yeah, I'll use one of my starry forms, assuming the cup, aka chalice.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what that feels like. And that is my bonus. So with my action, I will use one of my guiding bolts
Okay.
on this one.
A 20 will hit.
Oh,
Okay.
is that correct damage?
That feels like a. Okay, it was just 2 6s. Okay.
I see.
Yeah, I was about. As soon as I looked at it, I was like, that can't be the correct damage.
Yeah,
It
that
is.
feels like a
Guiding
lot.
bolt has very swingy damage because it is 40.
Yeah, I see that.
Mhm.
For some reason, I thought it was like 3d6, and I didn't upcast it because can't.
Right. Okay. Then it is Wisteria's turn.
I think I will go ahead and sling. Sorry, I need to remind myself what that looks like. I'm going to go ahead and sling a firebolt at the one that. Actually, no. I'm going to go ahead and sling a firebolt at the one that is Hunter's marked. The 15.
15 will barely hit.
Holy
Whoa!
shit!
That
Okay.
is just enough to smoke that one. And it is killed.
And after she hits that one and sees it go limp, she is going to run over here to next to Riffin and use 2 sorcery points for quicken casting of Burning Hands on this one.
Okay.
Watch out!
All right.
Oh.
It saves.
Oh,
Takes half damage, which leaves it severely injured. As
all right.
both of these bodies are burning, but one still remains standing, growling. Roderick, it is your turn.
Roderick will just draw his rapier, close the distance, and try to stab this one. No, that's not going to do it with a 5. 10 total.
Unfortunate. Okay. 10 will not hit. Let's see. Yes, okay, this will. The eyes of this mountain lion start to glint, and then appear to glow. Its breath comes out in a smoky growl, and frost that begins to pulse with some arcane influence. And as it lets out a high-pitched shriek, the stone begins to move under the 3 of you here, and also in a path coming from the cliffs beside you. I need the 2 of you and Riffin to make dexterity saving throws.
All right. Let's see if I have my wisdom mod added to this. Oh wait,
Why would you have that?
cunning or sorry, evasive, whatever the
Oh, okay. All right.
racial thing is. Come on. Oh, that's ugly.
Keeping it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can't do otherwise.
all 3 of you manage to save, and take 9 points of bludgeoning damage as these stones come rolling through. Is that for its turn? And then it is Gladys.
All right, as I am charging up here, I will move my hunter's mark to the friendo that's still alive, and you nailed.
And dead. Killed. Through the eye.
Fantastic.
Good burn.
All right.
Oh man. Oh shit. That is. I just realized that should have been dead probably on my turn. Just got hit with 1 because of Heart of Fire. I missed that proc though. My bad.
Oh, it's okay.
Damn.
All right. Right. Okay. That was a quick encounter.
Yep.
That was like 5 minutes. It's okay.
That's the it's okay of there's more.
Yeah.
That's the it's okay of I still don't know how much is too much, and we're okay.
We got quite lucky there. Vis-a-vis damage rolls.
Past
Everybody
round
kinda-
1 is when it becomes not okay. Once things survive past round 1, we get scared.
We had a crit. I rolled 2 6s on damage. We had a 10 on a D10.
D10.
Like,
yeah.
damage rolls were a bit fire this time around.
That is true. They were very good. I'm very impressed. Congratulations, everybody.
There are 2 people hurt, right?
Yeah.
All 3 people
3.
in the path of that small avalanche are hurt. But
Then-
Riffin is sturdy as fuck, and that did
Mhm.
not do much to him.
I'll do a cure wounds and then use the proc from Chalice to heal the other one. So let's say Roderick probably gets the cure wounds, honestly. I don't know you like that, Wisteria.
And then
And then you get healed for... I have a button for this. Yeah. Well,
holy shit.
essentially, I did a good thing here and just went ahead and itemized it. So, like,
Thank
it's
you.
just easier. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I can't with it.
There
So
we
just-
go.
Here's the itemized version.
Now that's what we're
But
looking for.
You both heal for 8. Yeah, I think Hattie like touches you, and at the same time you see him essentially like blow almost like a whistle out as this like little bit of like starlight floats out of his mouth and blows over in your direction before hitting you in the face with Hysteria. And it does heal whatever boo-boo you got.
I appreciate
Yeah.
that, Hattie. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thanks.
Yes. I'm going to try harder to not let people die in the future. Hattie just nods and goes walking back off in this direction. I'll keep my chalice form on, so I'm just glowing right now with starlight. I guess Whist hasn't seen it yet.
Yeah. No, I think she's like just shaking her paw off, like blowing it, like. That's normal, right? That's pretty cool.
I mean, at the very least, we've seen it before, so yes, I think so. It's normal for Hattie, yes.
I need to spend more time with that guy and write everything down.
All right, you all can continue on your path. Between the map and your escort, you have a pretty keen and clear way. Fortunately, this factually does eliminate some encounters because you guys have done the in-town encounter.
Sick.
Yeah. It did make your travel easier to hang out and do a little side quest.
That's a good fucking call, Ted. It's a good fucking call.
I try. Sometimes I hire people. Sometimes the guys I try to hire get logic missile to death. Sometimes it works, you know.
It's like midday, right?
At this point, yes.
Okay.
Although I'm planning on fast forwarding you guys a little bit if you're ready.
Yeah, I'd drop the star form if we like reach any checkpoints where other bandits are on
Okay.
our way.
Okay. Prior to that, Triss warns that there's at least a day's more travel. Like you'll be spending at least one night in the mountains before you can reach the stronghold.
Sick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Sick, bro.
But prior to that, some ways off of the path that she is navigating you guys through, how do you see an outcropping on one of the ledges that has a cavern, but also a cleared space, an old campfire that used to be there is now covered in frost, and there are some old lean-tos and leathers that have been abandoned. Some all in a circle, a
Mm-hmm.
good maybe 40 feet away.
It's like not. Is it up from where we are?
A
Or
little up, yeah.
okay. Yeah, Hattie would stop her and say, there's a camping spot up there. If it's already kind of pre-made.
It's mighty convenient if we are ready for our rest for the evening.
Around what time is it at this point?
By this point, it would be late afternoon.
I guess I'll climb up whatever amount is required to go quick scope it out.
Okay. You can climb it just fine.
Yeah, it's on a cliff, right? Like it is kind of on a ledge-ish. It's a little ways in from a
Yes.
ledge, but
Yeah.
okay.
You
Yeah.
would know as you're pawing your way up that the others would have trouble getting up. You would
Yeah.
use some tools.
I got a climber's kit for this, so
Mhm.
I'll start putting up the pittons and then like making like the rope. Probably only takes like 2 or 3 that he like feeds the rope through.
Mhm.
And then it gets on top goes, it should maybe only one at a time. He like looks down at the top rope, and like loops it around so that he can like, counterweight. Okay, come on up.
I believe a climber's kit just gives advantage on athletics checks. Is that correct?
So what it
I'm checking it out. See if it.
Yeah, as far as the
Yeah.
item description I have, it just you can use it as an action to anchor yourself, and when you do, you can't fall. But the
Mhm.
stuff that comes in it, like, yeah, it's probably not an automatic, but it would help them climb up.
Yeah, I'll say. I'll say with the system in place because like basically what that's supposed to do is account for time for like if you guys
Hmm.
are in combat and need to save your own
Yeah.
asses. But that not being the case, being able to set it up properly and all, you can get everyone up without having to do a check.
Okay.
That's very
Uh,
sweet of you.
while everybody sets up, though, I am going to make essentially like a perimeter around where the furthest area away from the cliff is, and just start like taking sections of rope and getting them ready to tie everybody to it when they sleep,
Okay.
just so that they don't roll off or something. I don't
Uh-huh.
know if anybody's gonna get close. Look, it happens when you sleep in the tree sometimes. This is theoretically similar. It won't be a strong
I
knot.
assume we will be setting up some guards or something, some watches. So perhaps who's ever on watch can make sure we are not sleep rolling our way off to our deaths.
That would be good, but you never know.
No hopes, thank you.
Okay. He starts slowly collecting the fittings out of the ground and tying the rope.
Okay. Are you going to be? Are you just going to use the camp that exists, or what are you doing?
Yeah,
I think that's the plan. Yeah.
might as well pick around while we're in here.
Mm.
Can they leave anything cool?
Roll an investigation check.
I don't think
can
I'm good
assist
at
with that.
one. I did a 5.
You did an 8 with help.
Thanks, Adam.
You're welcome.
You're a real homie.
You do find a set of some cooking pots that are all in battered condition, but they were once very nice. Some nice copper dishes that look like they've been thrown against the stone. And a spare set of traveler's clothes that are all frosted stiff.
Sick.
Good find, good find.
All right. How do you guys want to do watches?
I would like to take last watch so that I can cook breakfast as usual.
I will volunteer to
Also-
take the first watch.
No dark vision, so need to make sure that I have some sort of light.
I have dark vision, so I can probably take middle watch. If that's
Yeah.
alright.
I want like second to last, I guess. Which I guess would be middle. You take first watch. I gotta see the
Alright.
stars.
Great.
We're up in the mountains.
I'll take the last watch.
Oh yeah.
Y'all didn't listen to each other at all, did you?
No,
Just now.
no.
No, we got
Not
2
at
taking
all.
last watch, 2 taking middle
First
watch, and I'm
watch.
taking first watch.
That's right.
No, well, I'm taking first watch.
That's 2,
'cause
2, and 1.
I have dark vision.
More watches, though.
I got 300 feet of
Oh, I thought we only needed to do 3. Oops, I did a bad math.
I also did a bad math. Okay, I could do a watch by myself. I got 300 feet of dark vision now.
I've
Holy
got
shit.
I
no
see
feet of dark
everything.
vision. Put me in the
Yeah.
middle of the night, baby.
Yeah,
you'd
I was
be-
gonna say, it makes
I'm-
sense to go like Gladys with no dark vision when the sun is still kind of up. Then either Hattie or
Wisteria.
Wisteria. Yeah, then Wisteria,
then-
then Hattie, then Vendi and I in the morning.
Yeah.
Morning-ish at
In
dawn. There
theory,
we go.
yeah.
That makes sense. Thanks, Ted.
Okay. The first thing that you all notice during watch.
Really am the adult. I really am the adult.
I couldn't figure out a schedule. I'm starting to get to the sleepy brain times.
The first thing you notice upon entering the night is that it is very cold. And those on watch, it is worryingly cold while you are conscious. And it suddenly might occur to you that it might be dangerous for those who are asleep.
Maybe light a fire? Let's get a fire going. Okay. Probably because I have hot blood.
Would you like to start at fire?
Have blanket.
Yeah, I mean, probably, right? That seems like a good idea.
Where are we
Yeah, I
gonna
think
put the
fire's a
fire?
must.
Fire's important. Where are we gonna put the
Yeah.
fire?
Are we in? We're in a cave, right?
There are caverns and some leather lean-tos.
Okay.
Oh, well, caverns, good place as any for a fire.
Mm.
Keep it out the wind. Gonna get a
Yeah.
little
Mhm.
smoky in here, but that's okay. It'll be warm.
Yeah, I'll gather some stuff from the leather lean or like the lean-tos, any sticks or wood or whatever that I can find, and put in a little pile. Put some rocks around it and flick it on.
Great.
I'll offer up
So
some oil for a catalyst.
excellent. No one dies of exposure tonight.
That's good.
Not tonight. Maybe tomorrow.
Per snaps tomorrow.
How do the
Always
stars look
something.
up here?
Between the extension of your dark vision and the clarity of there being literally no air pollution and the atmosphere thinning, there is signs of the galaxy that you are within in the most clarity that you have ever seen. And the blackness shifts in colors that you have never witnessed before. You have a clearer vision of this place in space than you have than ever witnessed.
Yeah, Vendy. Goddamn Vendy. I was an E name. I'm also getting sleepy. Yeah, Hattie spends like the whole thing, like occasionally looking around, like at the mouth of the cave for like bandits or whatever, but just furiously drawing on all of his like papers with charcoal.
Every time I get sad, I think about how small Hattie's hands are.
Yes, they're so little, and now they're like cold and shaky, kind of.
Yeah.
So like he's got to like try to force himself to write slower so it's legible.
All right. And with that, we are going to have you guys complete your long rest under no threat of illness nor exposure, and nothing coming to investigate the glowing cavern during your sleep. And we'll call it there for tonight.